As a former professional hypnotist, performing in Las Vegas nightclubs and various public schools, I now expose all use of hypnosis. I will clearly show why this practice is dangerous and why it should never be used. One of the most subtle and potentially dangerous forms of magical practice is hypnosis. It is an ancient, occult method of influence or control over the mind and actions of others. The practice of hypnosis is about as old as human history and is nearly as widespread as the race itself. Hypnosis from ancient times was used primarily as a quasi-religious and quasi-magical technique. An example was the pagan practice of temple sleep, used among the Babylonians, Egyptians, and the Greeks. Patients were put into a hypnotic trance. The priests would give healing suggestions to sick and troubled persons in the name of their favorite gods or goddesses. This practice was condemned in Deuteronomy 18:10-11 and was referred to as enchanter.
When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God.
While looking up the word hypnosis in the resource book, Where to Find It in the Bible, by Thomas Nelson, hypnotized Christians is referenced in Galatians 3:1-2. It reads, O foolish Galatians! What magician has hypnotized you and cast an evil spell upon you? The Living Bible and the King James Version says, O foolish Galatians! Who hath bewitched you, that ye should not obey the truth? The word bewitch means to hypnotize, charm, or cast an evil spell. According to Nelson's New Illustrated Bible Dictionary, 1995, page 183. This practice is now used in hypnotherapy and has unfortunately acquired a cloak of respectability. We shouldn't be ignorant of his devices, lest we be corrupted by Satan, as Eve was deceived by the craftiness of the serpent. 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3. Using hypnotherapy in counseling. Dr. Carol Francis, psychologist and clinical hypnotherapist, uses spiritual and physical tools for hypnosis, astral travel, akashic, mediumship, psychic and energy work.
And I want to be able to share with you different tools that you can do to find yourself as being able to be those of us that do a lot of soul journeying and astral projection, akashic files, remote viewing, shamanic journeying, etc., etc., etc. It seems like we really move out of this body into whatever sorts of different multidimensional space that we do. And that's great.
Dr. Carol Francis' video is a clear example of what happens when a person gets involved in hypnosis. Hypnosis opens the door to deception and darkness. Many people erroneously believe that hypnotherapy is okay if it is used by a qualified professional. They assume if it is used by the right person, it becomes scientific and not occultic or dangerous. This is the reason people are naively being subjected to hypnosis in various areas of counseling. According to HMI, International Accredited College of Hypnotherapy, and American Hypnosis Association, here are a few things that they promote on HMI web TV shows: Wizard Journey, Message from Angels, and Past Life Therapy. The following are two clips from their TV show.
My name is Cheryl O'Neill, certified hypnotherapist, HMI instructor, and specialist in therapeutic imagery.
She was able to communicate with her father because the angels had brought him through, and I facilitated for her to communicate with him. Sometimes we have to name the angels to other things that people believe in.
Yes.
Whether it's energy or universal energy.
Or it could be like a guide or a
Guide,
you know, sometimes as you're an imagery master, you know that when they go to find an inner guide, they might come with an angel
Of course.
that could show up.
They often do, I notice.
One of Satan's deceptions is to cause a person to believe that they can talk to their departed loved one, but instead you're talking to demons. Even Satan masquerades as an angel of light. In Leviticus chapter 20 verse 27, God's word says, "Any man or woman who consults the spirits of the dead shall be stoned to death. Any of you that do this are responsible for your own death." Hypnosis always opens the door to occult influences and power. Hypnosis produces the same trance state of that of a spiritualist medium.
Welcome to Hypnosis Today, the nation's first hypnosis TV talk show that explores the fascinating world of hypnotherapy.
When you're remembering a past life, you also go through the process of crossing over. You understand the cycles of life.
Past life therapy is one of Satan's deceptions, causing people to believe in reincarnation. Hypnotherapists often claim to regress people to so-called previous lives. While under hypnosis, the person is told to recall his earliest years, going beyond the womb and conception to what they identify as a past life. The subject is then encouraged to give a detailed account of his or her former life. Past life therapy is used to create false memories of reincarnations. But God's word says, man is destined to die once, and after that to face judgment. Hebrews 9:27. According to Loyola of Los Angeles Law Review, after the subject comes out of the hypnotic trance, it is difficult, if not impossible, for the hypnotist or the subject to differentiate between facts and suggested details. God's word tells us in 2 Corinthians 10:5 to cast down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. When a person is hypnotized, it is impossible for them to bring into captivity every thought, because hypnosis is an altered state of consciousness. And at any level of hypnosis or self-hypnosis, there is a distortion of reality. In Ephesians 5:11, we are told to have no fellowship with the works of darkness. And in 1 Peter 5:8, we are told to be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary the devil prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Hypnosis is condemned in God's word. If you like my videos, please subscribe and tell others about it. Thanks for watching.